For weeks now, the world's been preparing for a huge new Russian offensive in eastern Ukraine. Tonight, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky gave a video address to his country, and he announced that that long-feared massive Russian attack has started. The new ground offensive follows a barrage of hundreds of Russian missile strikes and artillery strikes all across the entire nation of Ukraine today, but particularly in the east. We now expect that things will get much, much worse in the east. In the besieged southeastern Ukrainian city of Mariupol, outnumbered Ukrainian troops there have taken shelter in this giant steel mill. The Soviet Union actually rebuilt this steel plant in Mariupol to withstand bombings and blockades after it was destroyed by the Nazis during World War II. This plant is massive. It also has a system of underground tunnels where the Ukrainians say as many as 2,000 civilians are taking shelter right now, along with the Ukrainian troops that are mounting their last stand to try to keep that city under the Ukrainian flag. As Russia starts up this new assault, the U.S. and other Western allies are ramping up efforts to try to support the Ukrainian military. For the first time ever, the U.S. is sending heavy artillery to Ukraine, 18 howitzers, 40,000 artillery rounds, which at the current pace would be about a week's worth of artillery for the Ukrainian military. If you've never seen a howitzer before, it's basically just a big modern cannon. The U.S. also says they're about to start training Ukrainians on how to use these new howitzers, which of course is important. In addition to the artillery, the U.S. is sending Ukraine 11 new helicopters, 300 drones that are called Switchblade drones, 200 APCs, armored personnel carriers, 10 counter-artillery radars. These latest shipments from the U.S. are a real escalation in terms of what the United States is sending. This is a qualitatively new kind of weapon shipment from the United States, but Ukraine says they still need more. In an interview a few days ago with Anne Applebaum and Jeffrey Goldberg from The Atlantic magazine at his presidential compound in Kyiv, President Zelensky told Applebaum and Goldberg, quote, "When some leaders ask me what weapons I need a moment to calm myself because I already told them the week before. It's Groundhog Day. I feel like Bill Murray." Also, despite the extent to which Ukraine has been able to hold off the Russian invasion thus far, Zelensky told The Atlantic, quote, "The optimism that many Americans and Europeans and even some Ukrainians are currently expressing about the war is unjustified. If the Russians are not expelled from Ukraine's eastern provinces," Zelensky said, "they can return to the center of Ukraine and even to Kyiv. It is possible. Now is not yet the time of victory." Applebaum and Goldberg continue, quote, "Ukraine can win, and by win, Zelensky means continue to exist as a sovereign, if permanently besieged state. Only if Ukraine's allies in Washington and across Europe move with alacrity to sufficiently arm the country." He said, quote, "We have a very small window of opportunity." Again, Anne Applebaum and her colleague conducted that interview with President Zelensky at his office in Kyiv just days ago. She is just back from Kyiv, and she joins us here live next. Stay with us.